I need to give you a shake for that.
Welcome to Panter TV.
Thank you very much.
You're watching Panter TV. Today I'm here with one of my long-term friends.
Yeah, very long time.
Prince.
Prince!
What's up? Prince. Prince, how have you been?
I've been very good.
Really?
Yes.
I can see that. I actually got, somebody told me that you start singing a song.
Ah, yeah, I love music.
So, imagine Chris now singing a song. I actually know you for a very long time,
Yeah.
but you never told me you have passion for music.
Okay.
I know you as somebody that have passion to write story, write a book, because that was what you told me, right?
Yes.
So how is the music going on for you right now?
That's something I do from time to time. I just
So you
sing
do
to
it
myself.
for fun.
Yeah, it's for fun.
So what type of music is it?
It's reggae music.
Reggae
I love
music.
reggae music.
You know, when you say you love reggae music, right?
Yes.
I've been listening to reggae music all my life. So tell me, what type of reggae music you love?
Everything about reggae music.
So who's your favorite guy?
Bob next.
I know you're gonna say that. I know you're gonna say that. So why do you love Bob Mr. Marley?
Bob Next Marley is it's a legend. It's a legend.
He is a legend. There was an interview I had from Bob Mr. Marley when the reporter asked Bob Mr. Marley, says, what do you refer to when? And you know what Bob Marley said? He said, what is when?
Of course.
So let me ask you this question. What do you refer to as when?
It's wealth.
Yeah. As riches?
To be rich.
Yeah, that's
It
money.
means you're happy.
It means
You're
you're
happy.
So is it about having $3 billion or something?
No, not exactly. No.
But for some of us, we're thinking that.
The people that think that to be happy, for me, is what is worth.
So for
It
you
goes
to-
beyond the physical, yes.
I know, right? So when you refer to happiness, what is it you're trying to say? Because happiness can be me being in a club or me poking champagne. Hey.
I understand that.
So what is happiness for you?
What's happiness for me? Happiness for me is just having a smile on my face.
Does it mean if I box you now, you just smile? Does it mean that if I give you like $1,000 now, you just smile?
Well, it's possible.
So happiness for you is like a gift or what?
No. Happiness, it comes from within, inside you. Inside.
That's a legendary thought. That what you said is not what I thought when I listened to Bob Marley interview, and I noticed that that's what he was saying. He said, "What is riches or what is wealth? Is it mean buying cars or maybe living luxurious as well? No. So since he said he loved Bob Marley,
You can
I know
still have these things and not be happy.
Definitely, you're right. For people that don't know, you are watching Panter TV.
California dreaming about you.
And today I'm here with my homie. no problem, man, no problem. Man, let's cheers to that. Let's cheers to happiness. Happiness for that. So, Mr. Chris. So, yeah, like what do you love really about Mr. Marley?
What do I love about it? It's root reggae.
Root reggae music. Which particular song you love?
A couple of them.
Can you just give me one? I have to
I
love.
like Redemption.
Redemption.
I like Natural Mystic.
Okay.
Right. I like Buffalo Soldier.
You know what? To be frank with you, I think what's happening right now is what Bob Mr. Marley talked about, Buffalo Soldier. Imagine, as an immigrant from Africa, we came here. Instead of us helping African country, we are robbing them in different ways. Some of us are part of the military regime. Some of us are part of the military regime, and some of us are doing job for the individual that employ us. So Buffalo Soldier, if it's not about us becoming a military people, but I think Buffalo Soldier is about telling us, the youth from Africa, the way forward. Well, since you love Buffalo Soldier, let's talk about redemption. What do you understand about redemption? Redemption song.
Also, it's redeeming yourself. Trying to understand that a lot of things that you see on a daily basis comes from when you liberate yourself. Okay. That's what he's talking about. Is you need to understand that for the song, the lyrics, you go through it, you understand that. But Mr. Marley was looking at things very deep. He was coming from a state.
I understand that. So, how do you redeem yourself? Because
That's
according to that
what
song,
we try to do on a daily basis.
according to the last song, there was a particular point where he raised up and said, "You emancipate yourself from mental slavery."
Yes, yes, yes.
You understand? So, emancipation
To emancipate, it's mental. It's mental.
is mental.
You know,
So, have you emancipated yourself from mental slavery?
not totally. Not
So,
totally.
what is the story? Why have you not emancipated yourself from mental slavery?
Like I say, it's a daily, it's something that you need to go through on a daily basis. As long as you're alive, you need to x-ray yourself on a daily basis. Try to get the negatives out and put in more of positive.
How old are you? If I may ask? No, it's just a question. I just love it. I love it. I love
That's
it.
a very good question.
Yeah, that
That's
was
a
a-
very good question. Well, I skip.
No, why I'm asking the question is because if you are trying to get understanding about yourself at your age,
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
what do you think? What do you see yourself 10 years from now?
10 years from now? That's a very tough question.
So, meaning that you have not liberated yourself from mental slavery.
Yes, I told you earlier that it's like a daily struggle,
Uh-huh.
something you need to go through every day to try to discover yourself. It's a tough process.
Mhm.
You know, so you need to take out a lot of the things that inhibit you and bring in more positive. So like it's a daily struggle.
You're watching Panter today. Today I'm here with my own brother. I know him for quite a while, and he's actually a very nice person. Let me tell you something you know. Let me tell you the audience about Chris. Chris is an individual. If you don't like your character, he changes. I'm actually a bad boy. He knows that we stayed together already for a couple of years, and today he's here with us at Panter TV talking Panter. So Chris, one thing I understand about you as individual that you are so humble. You are very, very humble.
Thank you.
And the other thing I understand is that you are very helpful. You can help somebody in a different way. But the way you help me is lyrically. Lyrically is by speaking to you.
Yes.
And I actually learned a lot with that. So, what is your mistake when you came to Ukraine?
It's a lot. I mean, like I said, on a daily basis, you need to try to improve yourself. So you take one step.
Emancipation.
You still trying to emancipate yourself. But I did make a couple of mistakes, a whole lot. Like there are times you find yourself
So it's not part of it. It's not part of it.
love.
Yeah. No, I know. A lot of people actually listen. A lot of people actually, when they travel to Ukraine, things that make them involved is love. So it's not part of your mistake.
There is nothing wrong with love.
No, I know, but is what I'm talking about love. I mean, like you fall in instead of you falling into a relationship, you falling into the swamp. So for you to wash yourself off that particular movement, you actually need. So because here in Ukraine, they have everything. I usually have a conversation with my mom, and she's asking me why is the single. And then I said, I'm single because I don't want to fall into the mud. Love is two things. If you don't understand, it's a cup of two things, like mud and the fresh water, or maybe let's say something very different from mud. You understand? So, did you fall into a relationship, but you fall inside the mud or what?
Well, I'll try to explain something. Do I view things? You know, love is not a bad thing per se. You know, so love is it's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
You know, so if you're saying if we're looking at the fact that to fall in love is actually a very good thing. Because it depends on what you're falling in love with.
Like I said, the mud and like I said, in the mud.
On a daily basis, we're falling in love. You know?
Well, what did you fall into? Is it the mud or different things? I don't know the other things, so I'm
I
not
fell
saying
in love.
in the mud way.
No, I fell in love.
Is it the mud way?
I fell
So what happened? Why is Grace I'm talking to right now is actually losing it?
Chris is not losing it. Chris is just someone that
You just want to live it.
I just life is a quest. So on a daily basis, like I said, it is you take it slowly, you try to understand it. So because we are quite different persons, we try as much as possible to look for what works for you. And I got to understand that I need to look at it from a holistic point of view. So even though I make mistakes, I try to correct them or accept them and take it a day, one day at a time. That's how it works. That's how it works.
But if I'm right, during your life, right?
Yeah.
During all your life, how many mistakes have you gone?
A lot. Something like the
So
direction.
what's the worst? What's the worst mistake you've ever done?
The biggest mistake I made was not listening to my father.
Wow, I love it. Okay, but you say you not listening to your father was your worst mistake.
Yes.
So what was the advice your father gave to you?
Well, a couple of them.
Okay, what was the one that you think transparent to this one that you said is the worst mistake?
Yeah, no, because when we go through life at a certain stage, we need to get to reminisce, try to understand. So in the process of me trying to grow up or growing up, I experienced myself and got to understand that some of the things that my father wanted me to do or advised me about was from the perspective that first of all, he is a man. So he sees things the way I ought to see things. So I feel at that point in time he was giving me the advice was because he was already understanding, or he already understood the outcome of it. But at that point in time I was quite myopic. So if I look back, I would always want to say, it was like if I listened to this man, it would have probably turned out differently.
Wow. You know what? I actually started missing my pops.
You should.
I started missing him. It's not because of what you told me. What you told me, I already learned about it. But I'm just saying, imagine if I'm not listening to him and he's gone, or something happens, or maybe we'll not see each other again.
That's what it's
Because what he told me is what I'm working on. My pops told me, if you don't make it, or you don't make yourself successful, even if I'm in the dying bed, don't come back.
That's correct.
I met you like 3 years ago. I've been doing my best for my parents. Most of them are happy right now, most of them are not. But what I'm saying is that, Chris, since you are living like this right now, what was your dream? No. What I'm trying to say is that since you are here right now,
Yes.
what is your dream that you used to have when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I was a little kid, I said I wanted to be an engineer. I was quite young, I wanted to be an engineer, so I said I was going to be an engineer. Then later, I wanted to play football. There was a time I wanted to be
What was your passion? Like, because
literature.
Literature.
Yes.
So I think that's why you start writing book.
Yes,
Yeah, you told me about it. So how is your book coming along?
I begin to doubt to never come to a conclusion because for every time you try to, you think you know it, you find out you don't know it.
So why do you think you don't know it?
Because I don't.
Listen, I'm Panter. I'm Panter. I survived everywhere.
Okay.
I came into this country with knowing nothing. And guess what I believe in myself? If I say I want to push this wall,
Mm.
it's either the wall being pushed or being broken. But I swear to God, I'm going to see what is in the end of the wall.
That's how it should be.
So why do you think you cannot do your book?
Because that's because no excuses. I think I'm procrastinating. I get to a point, you know, it's something that I can't explain it. It's very difficult for me to explain. But if you want to bring out something, if you want to, it's deep thought. So from time to time, you could think this way, and at a certain point in time, you realize that the way you're thinking is not the way it ought to be, and you start thinking a different way.
Is it, listen, I know what you're saying.
Mm.
I was actually mixed with a couple of people that were thinking my vision is bullshit. As I'm talking to you, I have a couple of friends that can make my vision like this.
Yes, yes.
But the problem with them is that they trash your
Yes.
So did you, were you belonging to a particular group of people that were trashing your own ideas?
No,
like for example, you have
yes. I understand that part. Self-critique is very important. If you criticize yourself more, you would learn more. Because if you look at situations now, like the environment that we're living in, now if you have an idea, most people that you meet most likely want to criticize it or try to bring it down or try to look for a way to discredit you or try to. There is always but or like
did that pull you down?
No.
I think it did.
No, it did not.
No. If you, how many years have you having the experience of you writing a book? How many years?
Because my life is a book.
No, I know. How many years have you been thinking about it?
For a very long time.
For a very long time. How many years in general? Let's just put some.
What, like 10 years? 10 years.
So you think to write a book is supposed to take 10 years? Listen,
Yeah.
I did my first movie when I was 18 years old. It was difficult for me to produce it or direct because my pops was the one that's supposed to do the rest of the payment. I worked to a certain level. I